D-Day has come. Early this morning, the Allies began the assault on the northwestern face of Hitler's European fortress. The first official news came just after 9:30, when Supreme Headquarters of the Allied Expeditionary Force, usually called SHAPE from its initials, issued Communiqué Number 1. This said, under the command of General Eisenhower, Allied naval forces, supported by strong air forces, began landing Allied armies this morning.
Thousands of British and Allied troops took part in the D-Day landings, and it was to be the turning point of the Second World War and a day that would eventually lead to peace in Europe. But it came at a very heavy price. Many brave people lost their lives that day or suffered terrible injuries. They showed incredible courage in the face of indescribable terrors, and we owe them more than we can ever say. It has been my honour today to host a service at Holy Trinity Church to remember those who gave so much on that day in 1944. And I've also been privileged to meet some of the families of those local people involved in the Normandy campaign. It is thanks to one of those brave veterans that we are able to gather here in this wonderful orchard that reminds us all of the need to work for peace. Thank you. And to remember those who suffered for our freedom. The word hero is often used today, but Dennis Davison really is a hero, and we are very proud he is a Coventrian. As a young man of just 21, he was one of those at the D-Day landings, and in recent years he's made it his mission to make sure we remember. And I was overcome this morning listening to the talk on the radio that told us all about Dennis and his age, because he was exactly the same age as my dad, who was also at the D-Day landings.
I'm Angela Garner. I'm here today on behalf of my dad, Edwin Arthur Rowe, who was in the Royal Navy on the D-Day landings on his favourite ship, HMS Princess Iris. These are his medals that he had through all the war. This is his French Honour Medal. That's what it's called, yeah. Pardon? Yeah. Of Honour Medal, yeah, for being in D-Day landings. We came here today, we've been to the Holy Trinity Church earlier for a lovely service that was there dedicated to the D-Day landings. After that we went to the Council House with the Lord Mayor, had a reception there, and then this was this afternoon coming here. I've had a lovely day.
I'm Sub-Lieutenant Stephen from HMS Diamond. We've come up here today because HMS Diamond's affiliated with Coventry, so we've been to the D-Day anniversary ceremony at the Holy Trinity Church, and then come over for this peace picnic here just to represent HMS Diamond and our affiliation with Coventry.
I'm Alistair Short. I'm also from HMS Diamond. We've come up to represent HMS Diamond with the service D-Day 75 years. We're going to come to this lovely picnic.
I'm E.T. Seltzer, I'm also from HMS Diamond, which is, like was said, affiliated with Coventry, and we came up here just to attend the services that Coventry put on for us.
Today's about remembrance. 75 years ago, serving in the military was very, very different for us. It's all about sort of information warfare, and the technology we have back then, it was very, very different. Very D-Day must have been terrifying for the people involved, and it's just poignant for me to remember what it used to be like, and going forward when I go back to the ship, and just making sure I remember that when I go about my day job.
Well, I didn't quite know where he was, but he was in the Second World War, and I wore his medals this morning, and he was on the George VI coronation. He was in the Second World War, so my father was in the First World War. Today, because it was Normandy, the day of the UK, I decided to wear his medals because he was in the Second World War. I rated high because I'm the poppy organiser for the Coventry City Centre.
Yeah, see about me.
And I sell poppies and make money. and what we raised last year was 61,000. I've got 26 in a group, and we're a group on our own called the City Centre Group. Last year we got the Queen's Award for voluntary service and met the Queen. We were highly delighted with that. And so in November we shall be seen again around selling puppies and thinking of these veterans like today of 75 years. We did a big do in the city centre last week for Normandy. We haven't counted it yet, but I think we've raised a lot of money for them as well. Well, I was in the Blitz, Coventry Blitz. I wasn't actually in the military. It was my family that were in the military. But because of them being in the military, it made me take up to raise some money for the military. And Normandy is one of them. I didn't do any service in the military, no. But I, through my father being in the military, because he was in the First World War, which we've done a lot for the 100th year, and now we're doing the 75th year.
I'm Andy Duncan. I'm the project manager for the charity Normandy Day UK. So I've been working with Dennis Davison, who's the founder of the charity, for about 5 or 6 years to promote peace and unity, particularly in schools and amongst young people. And this Peace Orchard project is the culmination of a lot of that work. Something that Dennis dreamed of in the early days of setting up the charity is to establish a legacy for the future. Dennis spent a lot of his time when he was fit talking to students about his experiences in Normandy and in the Normandy campaign, but he wanted to have a legacy for after he departs, and this Peace Orchard is a fitting legacy. When Dennis was on the beaches of Normandy, his commanding officer asked him to go back to one of the beaches to collect something. I don't know what he asked him to collect. He wasn't happy about it, and he expressed his dissatisfaction in no uncertain terms, but he went. And when he got to the beach, he saw a person walking along the beach dressed in navy gear. He went closer to that person, and it was his brother. He didn't even know his brother was part of the Normandy campaign, and he bumped into his own brother on the beaches of Normandy in 1944. What a coincidence is that?
My name's Gordon Quinney. I'm part of the D-Day veterans. I organise all the charity dues and try and raise a few quid for the people who are worse off than what I am. You know, unfortunately I was too young to be serving in the war, but I still remember all the bombing of Coventry, and you know, it's something I'll never forget. Well, I was a young boy in the war because I'm only 87 years of age, so when the war started I was just a young boy, and I lived in a little village called Stretton-on-Dunsmore, where we grew all our own vegetables and all the pigs and everything, sheep, we kept a lot. I was in the Reaming, Royal Mechanical Engineers, and I become a corporal. I don't know how I did it, but I become a corporal. But yeah, I had 2 years in the army, 3 years on the reserve, and I enjoyed everything that was there. It made you appreciate the other lads around you. You know, if you'd got 50 pence, they shared it with you. Not like today, where everybody's trying to take everything they can get. My relation with Dennis is that I'm an ex-soldier, obviously, so we speak on the same level as each other. You know, I know what to say to him, he knows what to say to me, and he's a great old sweat. And I didn't know till today he was in hospital. So you know, I just hope he gets better. Yeah, I can't tell them on this camera. Obviously, they're army stories which you keep to yourself. Many old sweat won't tell a story. You know, as everybody who's been in the war will tell you. They keep it to themselves.
It's been a fabulous day here at the Community Peace Orchard. We had a peace picnic and over 500 people here. It's been a celebration really of not just my father's achievements, but the community itself in Coventry, which has turned up and supported us. My dad's actually in hospital, so he wasn't able to be here today, so I've been stepping in for him, and quite enjoyed it really, because we've been able to show our respects to him. And this week he received an award from the Prime Minister, which was wonderful, and tomorrow night he's on Gardener's World, BBC. Father's Dennis Davison, and he's was born in Northamptonshire in a small village, and went to war when he was around 17 as a young man. I think he actually lied about his age, and he took part in the armed conflict in France and in other parts of Europe. He was part of the D-Day landings, and he was in the service corps, which meant that they had to go first to land on the beaches and put the roads down for the tanks to get over. Very proud of him. He went to live in Normandy I think he went in the 1980s, and he lived there for 20 years. And that's where he got the idea of creating an orchard, a Normandy orchard. And that's where we are today, is at the orchard that he's created in Coventry, and he did that at the age of 90. So we're very proud of him.
Gather lilacs in the spring again, and walk together down an English lane, until our hearts have learned to sing again. When you come home once more, dear, of you, and all I need to do when we're together, you and I. We'll soon forget our care and pain, and find such love within to share again. Gather lilacs in the spring again, and walk together down an English lane, until our hearts have learned to